Namaste, Jai Bharat. Let me talk about the unity of Bharat. Both the unity and the integrity of Bharat, both theoretically and practically. Theoretically, the unity can be traced back to the Rig Veda itself. See, the last sukta in the last mandala of the Rig Veda very clearly demands Sanatanis to stay united, because unity is strength, progress, and everything. See, they say you stay together, then you will move from strength to strength. This is what the Rig Veda suggests. And remember, it's said, rather instructed, by the Rig Veda, the last sukta in the 10th mandala, which is the last mandala of the Rig Veda. So that is a theoretical aspect of unity of Bharat. Unity is unity. There is no question of diversity. This nitwits later in the modern Bharat, they have created a version of unity in diversity. There is no diversity, there is only unity. But there are variations of the oneness. That's always there within the Hindu Dharma itself. There are variations of the one ultimate reality. We have got so many deities which we practically treat as gods and goddesses. Very few have goddesses except the Greeks. We have plenty of goddesses. The principle of mother is very important to us. So that's a theoretical aspect in the Rig Veda. And multiplicity and plurality, and how multiple and plural are real, which reality is long understood by our ancient wisdom. And that all these things forms a theoretical device of the unity and integrity of Bharat, the oneness of Bharat. Now, when we talk about Akhanda Bharat, which is a vast area, which is not a part of Bharat today, political Bharat today, the people, they have gone completely astray, estranged from the principle of oneness, togetherness, and unity, because the only means through which these lessons were taught, the only means through which the knowledge was transferred to people were the Sanatana Dharma, Hindu Dharma. But the Hindu Dharma's teaching is interesting in the sense that nothing is binding. Nothing is binding. The latest example you pick up from Bhagavad Gita itself, where Bhagavan Shri Krishna teaches things to Arjuna and says, I told you things that you wanted to know, but now it is up to you to react to it. How? Whether you want to take it, you take it, otherwise it's up to you not to. So the Sanatanis, the Hindu Dharma, does not insist on do this, do that. It's up to you. Where you are convinced, you do it. We also have a philosophical structure, philosophical scheme in the 6 darshanas of Bharat, the Mimamsa, which asks you to ask questions. When convinced, accept. When not convinced, do not accept. Why? You are self-stultifying. At least be honest with oneself in convictions and understanding and proceeding with life. This is a spirit. So all these things put together provides the theoretical, or rather modern terms, intellectual backdrop or intellectual stage setting of the oneness of Bharatiya unity. Now, to come to the practical level, we have a simple concept which we call as kutumba, that is family. We have a concept of family, and the family is the minimum unit of oneness. Now, in ancient times, the families used to be, even modern times, there are many families used to be joint family. Not always, which is not very popular these days, but there are joint families still people maintain. I know a modern family which is a joint family in Calcutta. They are not Bengalis, they are basically from Rajasthan, business family. If you set up the house, I happen to stay with them, friendly visit. Three sons, parents, and the families of their sons and their children, all staying in one house. They have separate bedrooms and other. It's something like a suite apartment, something like that. They have independence within the flat system, within the house, separate, but they have a common kitchen. They have a common food timing. Normally, someone is late, that's a different case, and they sit together to eat. They sit together to pray. They sit together and talk whenever the business people. So not all people will be together. The parents will sit and all will be together and they take food, and there are no maid servants present there. The maid servants may be there coming and helping in the kitchen. One kitchen they have. But then while eating them, they themselves bring the food, they themselves lay out the food, and they themselves take food. So the concept of family is that. In ancient times, there used to be joint families. There are still joint families, many places joint families. And joint family, one can afford to be carefree, that you don't have to really bother about anything. So someone else will take care of things, and you take care of somebody else's things. It's a kind of collective effort, which is coexistence. And the Vedic epistemology of coexistence is precisely what you find there in joint families. So that's it. Now in modern times, the joint family system becomes very impracticable. Impractically, my case also. I could not stay with my parents throughout. I was in different places. My parents were at different places. Now look at me. I have three sons. All three sons stay in three different cities of Bharat, doing three different professions. We don't meet often. Of course, these days, modern technology, we can use telephones, we keep talking, all that's one thing. But we don't get together always. And there's no occasion that we compulsorily get together. But the unity of oneness is there in us. We know what's happening to the other. We keep interacting. We keep getting what's happening in each one's kitchen also. What's cooking also. We know what's happening. They keep telling things. Three sons. We know what's happening. And we don't feel the distance. It's as though we are together. Everything is talked to one another. Everything is rather communicated to one another, and we are in the same flow. So this Kutumba unity, this family, is the root base unit of the unity of Bharat. And no matter what anyone does, so long as our family concept is intact, nothing can happen to the unity of Bharat. That's one principle. Nothing really can happen to the unity of Bharat. There are modern times problems, in the sense we have to really go far from places and live there. But the modern times also brings us facilities of togetherness, communication, not only of voice talks or video talks, but also we can move from one point to other point faster these days. These are the facilities of modern technologies. The distance is hardly felt, but at the same time we can't be staying together as it used to be once upon a time. We can't be staying together. We have to be elsewhere, and shifting also from place to place and time to time, as life demands. Let me put it that way. Let me put it this way: as life demands, we have to keep moving. But the togetherness remains in the thought. Togetherness remains in the mind. Togetherness remains in the epistemology, which is the Vedopanishaic Epistemology of coexistence. It's the coexistence of the family eventually leads to the coexistence of the multiple and plural with the cosmos itself. It's all interconnected. It's all developing from the base unit to multiplicity, base unit to the entire macro level of existing together. So, the Kutumba family is the base unit, unit 1 of the unity of my nation, Bharat. So, let modern people in modern times pay mental attention to the oneness of our families. Mental attention to the oneness of our families. Not material support, not physical attention, but mental attention, and that shall make a lot of difference to you and the people coexisting with you. Should we meet again? Till we meet again. Namaste, Jai Bharat and Jai Sri Ram.